For those parents who suddenly realize that their computer-literate sons and daughters have long surpassed their own cyber savvy, we have a story that will humble you even further. Unless, of course, you're comfortable with terms like anims and tessellations. Not sure about them? Well, for this 7- and 12-year-old, it's all just child's play. Amateur animator Ben Washburn has been creating computer animation since, well, before he can remember.
How long have we had this?
And at age 12, Ben's talents have earned both state and international recognition.
This is for my project that I made this year, where he crashes into the lunar surface.
Ben, a 6th grader at Kingsley Pearson Schools, uses a 3D animation program called Lightwave to create his imaginative projects. His latest adventure, AstroCop, The Chase to the Space Station, is something even President Bill Clinton might be impressed with.
It's about a cop that chases a guy who he thinks tried to assassinate the president, who was on the moon at the time. It's July 24th, 2069. I'm assigned to Homicide Bureau, AstroCop's Lunar Division. We've been working on the presidential assassination attempt and have 3 major suspects.
Randy Washburn is Ben's dad and the band director at Kingsley Pearson Schools, where Ben's mom, Donna, is the vocal director. Originally, they bought their home computer to compose music.
We bought an Amiga computer in about 1987, and we were wanting to use it for MIDI and for digital audio sampling. We also bought a program called Deluxe Paint, and when we upgraded that program, it was capable of animation. Ben was 4 or 5 years old, and he was painting with it and animating with it, maybe actually quicker than I was.
But Ben isn't the only little animator in the family. His younger sister, Lexi, is following in his footsteps with award-winning animations of her own.
Lexi basically just felt that anything that her brother did, she had to do too. And so if he was going to enter a contest in animation, she had to learn to animate and do this too.
7-year-old Lexi has also won both state and international awards for her projects, including last year's entry, My Trip to the Space Center.
Last summer, me and my family went to the Space Center. It took us 3 days to get there.
And she's not modest about her accomplishments.
Yeah, I got first place.
Lexi animates her projects with a program called Deluxe Paint that deals with drawing, coloring, and moving images on a flat surface. The program Ben uses, Lightwave, controls objects that are 3-dimensional and modeled mathematically in the computer. Or, in other words,
She kind of does the cartoony things, and I kind of do the 3D rendered things.
For her latest work, Lexi put pictures to the song The Eensy Weensy Spider.
This is how I put the legs on.
And she's added a twist to the original version of this children's song.
This is the spider building his house because he's got tired of the rain. When he goes up the spout, he's got tired of the rain, washing him out. Weensy, weensy spider grew tired of the rain. He built himself a house to keep the water out. Down came the rain to wash the spider out. But the eensy, weensy spider just climbed back in his house.
It's not unusual for 7-year-olds to draw and color, but Lexi would much rather do both on the computer.
And if you screw up with the box crayons, you can't erase it. And if you do it with the computer, you can.
Like a lot of 6th graders, Ben is a big fan of the movie Star Wars, and this in turn has influenced his animation projects.
Well, I think if I hadn't seen Star Wars, I probably wouldn't make as many space anims as I do. And some of those models are starting to resemble Star Wars fighters and Star Wars spaceships and stuff like that. And I think they're easier to make for space because they don't have to be right. There's no right or wrong.
Ben's futuristic thinking may be a little spacey, but his mind is down to earth during his favorite class, math?
Math. Definitely math. because I think it helps me understand Lightwave a little bit better. And I've known what all the names of all the space figures were, and how you rotate objects and stuff like that. And this is basically, I took 3 tessellations and I deselected a bunch on one, and it was bigger than the next one, and I sized the other one down, and I deselected a bunch on it. Then the bottom one I just made 1 tessellation.
Don't worry if you didn't understand that. Neither did we. But this math master, computer whiz of a cyber kid has already set his sights high for the future.
I might try to do something like the Pixar company's done, and you've seen Toy Story, they did Toy Story, and maybe try something like that.
Well, I think it's great. It's a nice hobby. It's, in some ways, it's cheaper than snowmobiling, and I think it's probably safer. They've always got something they can do, and they can be creative with it. And it's a lot of fun for the grandparents, I know.
It's fun for Randy and Donna, too. But they admit it's not all about winning a prize or coming in first place. It's about being self-motivated and making choices.
I think we need to teach that there's more to life than just turning the channel, and that there's more choices in life than what channel you're going to watch.
This process teaches them the difference between passive and active. And I think that's something a lot of young people need to concentrate more on, doing and not watching. And I guess that's what I wanted for my kids, a motivational thing that comes from within. And I think this teaches them that quite well.